Hey guys, welcome. It's your friendly neighborhood bee, and let's get straight into it, shall we? From r/am I the butthole for being weirded out by my parents' new friend. So, long story short, my parents are in their 60s. In the last few months, they befriended a girl who works in the same area as they do, a 20-year-old woman. At first, it seemed more like work friends relationship. When they were sort of in the same area, they'd talk and hang out, and she'd bring them things that she bakes. She's taking some sort of baking course, so she's always giving them leftovers from assignments. At first, it was April, I assume this is a woman, bringing them things at work. Then it turned into April going places with them after work. Then it turned into April driving out of the way by 40 minutes to visit them at their home. My parents also, for some reason, tried to set this girl up with my nephew, who's the same age. He completely shut that down pretty quickly, as he's not her type at all, despite my parents really trying to push it on him. Okay, it's great that their new friend is exciting, albeit the age difference is a little bizarre. Maybe they're giving her a bit more attention. Fine. I go over there with my nephew one night a few weeks ago. April is there. Another time, my wife and I dropped by without warning. April is there. I video call my parents randomly throughout the week, and she always seems to be around, at work or outside of work. Just, oh, say hi to April, and suddenly she appears. Well, the straw that broke the camel's back was that my parents were having the whole family over for Easter, and you guessed it, April was there. Not only that, but the whole night was basically about her. Oh, April did this, and April did that. I don't think my parents spoke more than 10 words to anyone else in the room. It was super awkward for everyone involved. She stayed all night. My boy actually opened his Easter basket in the corner of the room whilst my parents were in the conversation with April. Hmm. This normally would have been something they'd make a big deal out of, maybe bringing it out and paying attention to him for a bit while he opens the gifts they got him. Not today. Weird comments being made. My mom was talking about a gift she's going to ask for as a birthday gift all of her kids can pitch in on. April explained, guess I'm unadopted. Something about how she's collecting daggers because they're easier to stab people with. And the wound won't heal? That was out of left field. Alright. April said that? Wow. Anyways, I spoke to my parents when April left and explained to them that having her over during family functions makes it awkward, and they didn't want to hear what I had to say at all. My mom made me out to be the bad guy and told me it's controlling of me to not want her to have friends. This is when my wife chimed in and kind of explained to them that the whole thing is super weird and that it seems like April is just inserting herself. Am I the butthole for being uncomfortable and getting bad vibes from this girl always being around? Freaky how obsessed they've become, and my true crime brain is telling me she's trying to take out life insurance policies on them or something. It seems weird to me. Mm, so the unscary version is that April has formed a parental attachment to your parents and wants to be around them. And like anyone who gets a new shiny thing, your parents are paying more attention to her than to their grandchildren or their children. Uh, some more nefarious versions of this could be April and your parents share a bedroom. That could be a possibility. There could also be the possibility of April being a scammer and, yeah, wanting to get life insurance policies on them, and then all of a sudden your parents are gone. I Can you get a background check on April? Can you get like a private eye or something? Just look her up. I don't know. Like you should research April because it is a little bit scary. Granted, if it's the first two options that they're allowed to do that, but you need to bring up how you and your children are feeling neglected. But if it's the last one, that's the last option. You really need to watch out for the nefarious evil version. I really hope it's not that one. That seems scary. And if you like things like this, I'm here every day, so make sure to like and subscribe. Next one. Am I the butthole for telling my wife our marriage is over if she can't accept me spending one on one time with my son? My wife and I each brought a child into our marriage. I have a 10-year-old son, and my wife has a 6-year-old daughter. My son's mom and I were not together at the time of her passing 3 years ago. I was already dating my wife at the time, and we were working on moving in together. My stepdaughter's dad is in and out of her life and has not been consistent in her life whatsoever. Before we moved in together, I talked to my son about it, both before and after his mom passed. His only worry was that he wouldn't get to spend the same kind of quality time with me, so I made a commitment to him that I would make time for one on one once a week with just him. That was good enough for him to be okay with us all living together. I communicated this with my wife at the time, and she didn't have a problem with it. We actually discussed all of this before we married too, and we're on the same page. Now, 2 years into our marriage, and she's no longer on the same page as me. She's upset at the fact that one on one is still one on one, and my son is never okay with turning it into the whole family time. We do make sure to have time for family time as well, and I also make sure to get one on one time with my stepdaughter as well. Oh, that's good. My wife has said it's not fair to my stepdaughter to always be excluding the one on one time with my son. Uh, mm, I'll like for her to explain that logic to me, please and thank you. She said my stepdaughter gets jealous and it hurts her feelings. Jealousy has been an issue, and I've always talked to her about it when it becomes known to me. But my wife said it's not okay that it keeps happening and that my stepdaughter's feelings get hurt by it. She also said my son doesn't look forward to one on one time with her like he does with me. And she feels like one on one time with me has made that worse because he doesn't feel like he needs her and doesn't see her as a true parent. Oh boy. Then she'll say that's not really it, but she gets jealous too. Then she says one on one time has made it harder to be spontaneous because if we have a busy week, I prioritize the one on one time, and that's true. That was something I communicated I would do before we even got married. The topic has become more intense because my stepdaughter was recently very upset after spending time with her dad. He made her promises previously and broke them, and it sent her jealousy of my one on one time with my son into overdrive. Made it worse when her dad didn't acknowledge her birthday. My wife told me for a little while I could at least cut back the one on one time for the daughter's sake, and I told her no. I told her I won't be doing that to my son, and if she can't accept it and keeps trying to fight about this with me, then our marriage will be over. She lost it and tried to escalate it into a fight, but I walked away so the kids wouldn't hear. But she was still mad hours later, and she was still ready to fight. I told her I wasn't going to let this turn into us yelling at each other, and she needs to decide if this is her hill to die on, because it is for me. Am I the butthole? No, you're not, and I don't think either one of you are acknowledging the one on one time you're giving your stepdaughter. You are giving her time, which I understand that she is 6 years old and emotions are very large things, especially on a small mind. But if she's having jealousy issues, it is your guys' job as her parents to help her through that. Mainly her mom's, considering everything going on. Stepdaughter could easily be helped through that. You parent your child. It's not an issue. I think the issue isn't that your stepdaughter is jealous, which was probably perpetrated by your wife, is the fact that your wife is jealous that someone other than her, that she sees as a threat, is getting prioritized one on one time. I think that's the real issue here. And saying the ultimatum of the big B word, divorce, that's something that can be hard to come back from. I'm not in your relationships. I don't know if you can, but I wish you all the best. And I hope you should go to family therapy and individual therapy. All four of you. All of you. Next one. Am I the butthole for leaving my best friend's birthday party early because I was a B list guest? Throw away for privacy that this is a pretty specific event, and anyone who knows the situation will probably be able to identify me anyway. I, 29 female, have been good friends with Sally, 30 female, since we were 8. We were inseparable throughout school, but we went to different colleges. I visited her a few times each year. She'd visit me, and we'd always meet up at Christmas and summer breaks. After we graduated, I moved about 3-hour drive from where she moved to. We still caught up often, though. As it normally happens, we established our new professional and social lives, drifted apart, but whenever we caught up, it was like no time had passed. We were there for each other whenever we needed it. When she got married at 25, I was a bridesmaid. I declined maid of honor because I was concerned with the long commute. She drove to my place to support me when my father had a stroke. I stayed with her when she found out her ex-husband had cheated and she filed for divorce. I always figured that even though life is taking us in different directions, we're always here for each other. Now, to her birthday. She turned 30 last week and had a huge party this past weekend. Since it was a milestone birthday, she had it at a banquet ball, all catered, DJ, etc. It was a night, so I booked a hotel, drove up, and would drive back home the next day. When I arrived, I was ushered into a small room with 4 tables and about 10 other people. There was a portable TV on a trolley with a stream of party in the bigger room. With a stream of the party in the bigger room. Wow. One of the guests told me Sally invited more than the main hall could accommodate, and she had hoped that a few people would RSVP no and we would all fit in. But only 1 or 2 people RSVP no. So the venue opened a second room for the excess guests. Wow. I saw on the stream of new people arriving after I did, so I knew I was clearly regulated to the B-lister room and wasn't brought there because the main room was already filled up. Wow. Oh, all right. So I left after 15 minutes and took my gift with me. The next day, as I was preparing to check out of the hotel, Sally called and asked, "Why didn't you show?" Apparently, she came to the leftovers room to mingle about 30 minutes after I left. What's 30 plus 15 again? 45? She came to see the rest of her guests almost an hour later? Oh, this woman. Okay. And noticed I wasn't there. I told her I did attend, but I didn't realize I'd be watching a stream of her party instead of attending it, which I could have done at home. She asked if I wanted to catch up for lunch and I can give her my gift then, but I told her I needed to get back home because I had plans for the afternoon. Cue the Instagram story about how people who claim to love her don't show up, and she can't help that so many people wanted to celebrate her. During my drive home, her mother left a voicemail that she was very disappointed in me. But I'm here like I'm supposed to be one of your best friends and I got the leftover experience. Did I overreact? Am I the butthole here? Her mother called you? Isn't she 30? Oh, I, as it happens in life, and you've touched on this a little bit, sometimes when we drift apart from lifelong friends, we should permanently drift. She doesn't seem as if she values or truly cares about you, especially in the way that you care about her. You drove up 3 hours and got a hotel room just to be regulated to a closet. Nope, I wouldn't. Not the butthole, and I think you should enjoy the gift that you got for her. Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys!